3, 2, 1, 0.
What makes a character your favorite? Do you like a character that have that badass aura like Zoro or Jinwoo? Or maybe you like a character that's silly and heartwarming like Luffy or Anna? Or maybe you just resonate with a character on a personal level. Honestly, you don't need a deep reason why. You like them because you like them. But here's the thing. Sometimes there are characters that at first you may not love. Hey, you may even hate them. But then they do something that changed the whole narrative around them. Take Itachi from Naruto. Early on, a lot of people may not have loved him. He made Sasuke an orphan. He put up on Naruto trying to capture him. Listen, he had aura, but he was doing some diabolical things. But as the story progressed and we saw the reasons behind his action, the tune quickly changed. We saw a man that loved his brother to the bottom of his heart. We saw a man that loved his village from the bottom of his heart, and he was willing to do some diabolical things to save them. Honestly, he was a good dude. Relatively. He did kill his own clan. So with that in mind, there's one character where that applies to me where I didn't like them at first. I may have even been annoyed at them at first, but then they changed something. This character early on also got a lot of slander. And from the title of this video, you should already know who we're talking about, but hey, drum roll please, Asta. Okay, before we begin, let's talk about the Asta problem. Early on, Asta was a pretty contentious character to say the least. I didn't hate him, but I didn't like him either. And judging from the reactions of a lot of first-time Black Clover fans, I wasn't the only one. For me, he just felt generic, and I shouldn't have been surprised. This comes at a time where Naruto had just ended and Jump was looking for another hit. It needed another hit. They were pushing a lot of titles and Black Clover was the safe option. And Asta was the safe protagonist. However, we've seen a lot of Asta. A MC who never gives up and dreams of reaching that certain verse highest title. Wizard King, Hokage, Pirate King, etc, etc. Again, Asta didn't felt new, he felt safe. And at that time, I wasn't looking for safe. I was looking for more nuance. Someone like Thorfinn. And I know, nuance from a shonen manga? Adrian, come on. Listen, at that time, it's just what I wanted. So ultimately, that's where I stood with him. I didn't like him, but I didn't hate him. He was just there. Meh. And then the anime dropped and the first couple of episodes did not do him any favor. He was just yelling, and it got so bad that there are YouTube montages of Asta screaming. Go check them out. It just became easy to be annoyed and turned off by him. But as the story progressed and as I grow into a person who just wants to enjoy a story for what it can provide, I realized Asta is pretty goated. Yes, he is still generic. Yes, he screams a lot, even though it was toned down a little bit. But throughout the story, I found something endearing about him and about Black Clover as a whole. And this moment I'm about to describe is when Asta turned from a mad character to someone who could be in my top 5 protagonist list? Maybe? The moment. So here's a little background. During this time, Asta was steadily growing in power and as a character, and Black Clover had finally found a niche within its story. So right now, we're in the middle of what many consider Black Clover's best arc. We're fighting the Spade Kingdom and the Dark Triad. And we've reached a point where we're fighting hell itself. It's a long and grueling battle. For every victory we secured, there's another bigger, dangerous obstacle in our way. This time, the King of Devils. At this moment, the wizards on our side are getting bitch slapped one by one by one. Asta included, and then he also goes down. Yuno managed to save him and get him to Mimosa to heal him, or try to heal him. More on that later. And that's where we are right now. We're at the start of chapter 321, and we're starting with Seki's monologue. Right in the beginning of his monologue, we see him lamenting, crying. Why am I here in this hellhole? Why am I fighting these demons? As he watched Yuno and Merliona getting brutally gutted out by this devil, he continues to lament his fate and tries to find a way to run. And then he stumbled upon Mimosa, trying her best to heal this broken ass dude. And with not a second thought, his first instinct is to go to her and say, "We should run." And then this girl politely says, "Shut the fuck up." That isn't what Asta would have wanted. W girl, best girl in the whole series. At that moment, Seki was hit with a realization. He was going through all his interaction between him and Asta. And then suddenly he sees Asta gets up. He is still drenched in blood. He wasn't able to be healed. And in this moment, we see Seki cry, asking himself, why didn't I try to become stronger the way he did? And in one of the best panels in the whole series, a panel that accumulates all of Asta's character, we're presented with a man with undying will. It showed what Asta meant to the characters of Black Clover as well as the story as a whole. Yes, this was a Seki monologue chapter, but for me, it really highlighted Asta's character. Throughout the story, he was viewed as the eyesore of the Clover Kingdom, looked down upon because he couldn't use magic, and he was exiled because he had a demon with him. But none of those facts stopped him. He never gave up. He continued to push past his limits over and over and over and over again. And because of that resolve, everyone around him started to get more powerful because they saw and respected his action. This one panel beautifully summed up Asta's character. Bloodied and bruised, but he still gets up. He still fights for a future. Like I said before, it was really endearing. It moved me. And that's the purpose of stories. It's to make you feel, it's to make you resonate with the character and the themes. And Asta in that moment did. I was Seki, looking at someone who never wavered, wishing I had that same resolve. Then I realized it's not too late. I can be like Asta and choose never to give up. This isn't the first, and this won't be the last Shonen Jump story where there's an MC who never gives up. And yes, there are stories that have done this trope better. There are MCs that have done this better. But after reading that chapter, after seeing that panel, after reflecting on Asta's journey, it simply just resonated with me. It makes me not want to give up on the dreams that I have regardless of its difficulty. I think I like Asta. I think he's in my top 5 MCs. And this was a moment where it started. Guys, again, thank you for coming back to another video. Like, comment, subscribe. Always a pleasure. Deuces.